Now, for those that know me well, will know that one of my great passions in life is sport. I love sport. I also love TV. Watching sport on TV is definitely something I spend too much time doing. And watching TV shows about sport as well, perhaps. Uh, Sorry, just a plane flying overhead. Uh, Now, one thing that I don't like when I watch my sports on the TV, especially over the last 4 or 5 years, is just the excessive amounts of sports gambling ads they have at the moment. Right, every ad break or every you know little time they have to fill, they seem to fill it with ads on how you can make money on different types of betting strategies, gambling strategies. I don't know them. As you might know, I don't really like gambling now. Um, Interesting. I was speaking to a new friend yesterday, and as you do, telling him what I do, and I said, I'm in the investment world, but mainly teach nowadays. The old gave the old joke. Those that can do, those that can't teach. And he made a little joke about the investment world. He's something along the lines of that investing is like the adult version of gambling. Well, I guess all gambling is adult, but a mature form of gambling, let's say. And that got me thinking because, like I said, I don't really like gambling, but I do like investing. Yeah. Uh, and so I didn't have time to go through explaining to him, the difference between gambling and investing. But that's why I'm doing this video, I guess. Uh, so probably the best place to start with is just like looking at the different types of participants that engage in the investment world, that interact with investment markets, whether it be stock market, bond market, derivatives markets in particular, and you can break them down into probably three main categories. The first one, which I'll talk about, is kind of your non-investors. That is those that are entering these markets not for investment purposes. One of the key non-investors in this space is your hedgers, those that have a natural exposure to different things, especially in the commodities world and the commodities financial derivatives. That marketplace, which is one of the older marketplaces in the financial marketplaces in history, but companies in particular that might have a oil exposure, they'll go to the derivatives markets to hedge that oil exposure. When it comes to other non-investment type of market participants, you might have people who invest strategically, especially other companies looking to take positions in smaller businesses, perhaps to get some kind of sway, let's say, over decision making. And in particular, in this space, you might have activist investors as well. We might put into this space those that are looking to invest into companies, but for other reasons, usually social and environmental reasons, looking to influence decision making, not for investment purposes or for profit making purposes, but more for helping those businesses with their sustainable decision making. Then you have, I would say, two types of investors. Now, as I said before, I don't like gambling, and when a lot of people think about investing, they think about this idea of it's risky, it's like gambling, let's say, and there's definitely those that invest, or that I shouldn't say invest, let's say that interact with the markets in this gambling speculative way. We might call them just generally speculators, maybe call them day traders. Other terms we might have for these types of market participants. But yes, these are those that are looking for, in particular, short-term gains, making short-term, and we call, in the marketplace we call them short-term bets. Yeah, making short-term bets on different marketplaces. Whether it might be a short-term play on gold, or might be some equity indices, or interest rates, or currencies. Looking to take advantage of some kind of short-term mispricing, let's say. And you do get a lot of people entering into this end of the market that do have that more gambling mindset. That is, and especially if you think about professional gamblers, really trying to understand their risk exposures, but looking to get that big win, make that big money, with as little outlay as possible. And so, yes, when people do maybe criticize, let's say, the investment world, and maybe being a little bit too like this type of gambling framework for how someone might allocate capital, you can see why they might mistake all investors for that type of investor. The type of investing that I teach about, that I engage in, is much more the true investor, the long-term investor, those that are looking to allocate capital to create value. Speculators often play in a zero-sum game. That is, if they're making money, someone else is losing money. Whereas investors often look to multiply money, look to invest into creative ideas, whereby those ideas might be successful, yes, but create value for the world, create value, multiply wealth, and that's what they're looking to participate in. So yes, overall, is investing like gambling? Definitely, we think about risk a lot, obviously, try to manage that risk. And definitely there are those that are looking at those speculative short-term gains. But for real investors, it's a long game. You're looking at trying to find real value, good value, create value for the long term. Now, eagle-eyed viewers may have spotted some familiar landmarks in this video, so to play the Where is Dr. Dan game, head over to my Substack to be the first to log your location guess. See you next time.